Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the bulk control arms used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. Lift the front of the vehicle. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. You must remove the wheels in order to change the control arms on your vehicle. This will give you full access to the suspension system. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. On this vehicle, the sway bar link is directly attached to the control arm. You therefore have to remove it. To do this, we recommend watching the video How to Replace the Sway Bar Links Logan 1. Start by brushing the ball joint retaining nut of the control arm, then spray it with degreaser. Next, using a socket wrench, a 15mm socket and a 16mm spanner, unscrew the suspension ball joint retaining screw. Remove the screw. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to remove it. Spray the steering knuckle at the ball joint with penetrating oil. Be careful not to get any degreaser on the disc. If you do, make sure you decontaminate the disc using brake cleaner. Using a hammer, insert a fairly thin chisel into the opening of the steering knuckle at the suspension ball joint. This will create a slight opening to help you remove the ball joint with ease. Then, pry the control arm fully away from the steering knuckle. Unscrew the plastic throttle valve from the mudguard. Then, remove the mudguard retaining rivet using a flathead screwdriver. Move aside the mudguard to access the upper retaining bolt of the reinforcing bar. Unscrew the upper retaining nut of the reinforcing bar using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket. Then, unscrew the lower retaining bolts using a socket wrench and an 18mm socket. Remove the reinforcing bar. You can now unscrew the two fastenings that connect the control arm to the cradle. Brush the two screws holding the control arms to the engine subframe, then spray them with degreaser. Using an 18mm spanner and an 18mm offset wrench, unscrew the first fastening. Repeat the process on the second fastening. You can now remove the control arm by pulling on it and moving back and forth. Start by brushing and lubricating the location of the control arm silent blocks to facilitate the installation.
Okay, guys, if we can share this video with you and help you save a lot of money, is also thanks to our partner, Mr. Auto. So, if you want to support us and buy the part for this operation, visit their website. Okay, back to work.
You will find the bulk parts and products used in the video on the Mr. Auto site and in the link in the description. Take your new control arm and remove the protection on the ball joint. Position the control arm in its slot and start by roughly screwing the fastenings back onto the engine bed. During this operation, you will be working on the front axle of your car, so it is advisable to perform a parallelism afterwards. Apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the suspension ball joint sleeve. Replace the control arm ball joint in the steering knuckle. Then you will be able to easily put the screw back. You have to insert the ball joint exactly in the middle. Neither too high nor too low, in order to line up the ball joint print with the screw. Screw it back in using a 16mm socket. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. It is now time to lift the control arms of the ball joint using a jack. The silent blocks on the engine subframe side must be tightened in the vehicle on the ground position in order to preserve their integrity. Finalize the tightening of the screws with a torque wrench. Remove the jack. Put the reinforcing bar back in place. Then screw the nut on the bolts back on. Put the mudguard back in. Screw the plastic wing nut back in and fix it by hand. Put the rivet back in place. Put the sway bar link back in place. To do this, we recommend watching the video How to Replace the Sway Bar Links Logan 1. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put the car back on the ground and block the wheels securely. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from UseTool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.